Hello, everyone, and welcome to our brand new show on our brand new network. The Geek Gauntlet podcast is now a part of GeekNewsNow.net. I am so excited about this movie. Fantastic. And those guys over there are top notch, guys. Each one of them have their own departments for every bit of geekdom you need. You want to read good, timely articles? Well, and a lot of times with Geek News Now, we get stuff that includes the word geekdom first. So if you want to keep up in the know, up to date on the world of geekdom, GeekNewsNow.net is where you definitely want to be. We're going to get started with the show in just a second. We do have a sponsor for this evening, and that sponsor is, let me pull it up here, metallicdicegames.com. Now, they have a sale going on when you type in the promo code GNN. Promo code GNN, and that gives you a 10% off whatever you buy over there, even items that are on sale. So if you get something, let's say 50% off, if you type in that promo code GNN, you get an additional 10% off that purchase. So head on over to metallicdicegames.com, get that 10% discount by typing in the promo code GNN. I looked over there. It's a classy site. I like everything about it. So definitely head on over there and check it out. All right. Now let's go ahead and bring in everybody into the show for this evening. First, my co-host, as always, Shaw. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. How are you, good sir?
Well, really good. Can't complain. Next, we have some special guests. And guys, these are my brethren from the Paradigm Shift Wrestling Podcast. First, the man from Canada, the man who knows moose and like no other, the man who fights moose on a daily basis. Ladies and gentlemen, bring over Gene Emerson. Gene, how you doing, man?
Good night, and welcome everybody to Geek Gauntlet. We're going to run the gauntlet here tonight as we normally do. I'm repping Deadpool, Canada, born and raised, so got to do it.
There you go. And last but not least, my buddy down from New Orleans, Louisiana, the man who loves the New Orleans Saints. And any Saints fan, you can't hate. Hence me. No. You hate me. So we can't hate Brandon either. We both love the Saints. My man, Brandon Randall. Brandon, how you doing?
Great, man. I'm so excited that you allowed me to be on this show. This is your first episode as the Geek Gauntlet, correct?
Yep, first one.
Wow. So I'm so happy that you invited me to make history with you, and I'm excited to see where this is going to go moving forward.
Thank you. And I just want to say that intro that you saw, Brandon, that the first logo we used over on Facebook under the Geek Gauntlet podcast page, our first one, Brandon. So if you have any work that you need done for any of your podcast needs at a reasonable price, Brandon is the man that hook you up with that. So definitely check him out. All right. Let's go on ahead and move over to the first order of business. Shaw, you are the driver of this bus. What we got?
Yes, sir. So today was part 2 of the DC Fandom, which was a little different than last month. Basically, you had different rooms. Each room had all the different panels, so you get to choose what you want to watch. Personally, I just watched all of the panels on the Arrowverse shows, and I also watched the panel for Young Justice. We also got to see the movie for Superman, Man of Tomorrow, which is really good. That was awesome. Let's see. The Young Justice panel, probably the best. We got to have a nice little table read for a episode that, kind of in between last season and next season. It was really good. Let's see. We got to find the title for the next season of Young Justice, which is going to be Young Justice Phantoms. That's kind of interesting. We'll see what that means later. And yeah, that's everything I saw on Fandom. Anybody see any of the panels or anything?
I got a chance. Go ahead, man.
No, I'm sorry. I did not check any of those after the last week when they had movie for Black Adam and whatnot. So I caught that a little bit of that, but I did not catch any of this week. I'm very sorry.
I got a chance to catch Superman, Man of Tomorrow, and I got a chance to catch that today. It was not a bad movie at all. His origin story was changed ever so slightly, but yeah, I didn't have too much of an issue with it. It was really, really good. Did all sort of kind of bouncing around. They showed the new Batwoman. If you look at some of the panels today, they showed her. That was really, really interesting. I love seeing her. And you can just go through the line. You saw some of the fan art, and some of the actors got a chance to critique it somewhat. You saw Grant Gustin do it, and so that work was amazing. So definitely, it was a very good experience. I like DC. I like DC fandom. Would you guys like doing it like this, or maybe go out to visit the cons or whatnot?
I would definitely like to go out and visit the cons. I mean, there's just no better experience than being there, seeing everything for yourself. I do think this is a great way to interact with people, and still get to them dang moosing. There's a moosing.
Yeah, moosing sight.
But it's still a great way to fulfill that geek crave, if you will. But now personally, I would like to be at the cons.
What do you think?
Yeah, same here.
We like to be at the cons more than have it online.
I would have to agree. I'm more of a physical type person. I'd rather be at the con, seeing also too the interaction of cosplayers. Like, that was always the biggest thing about the cons. When you have fandom, you have as they would get the San Diego Comic-Con, all that stuff. That whole week, that whole month of August is big in San Diego. So with stuff like this, I get it because we're in what we're in and we have to do the way we are. But once normality starts coming back, I think seeing the cons again will be what's the whole thing. It's all about interaction and being able to interact with your favorite artist or actor or whoever that you get to go with. So I'm more of a con person than something over online.
How about you, Shaw? Would you feel you feel the same?
Yeah, I do feel the same, man. Doing the whole computer thing is good and everything, but it's like there's a definite different experience going there. Getting up early, playing the day out, figuring out what time you want to go to, and everything. That it's definitely a different experience going to it rather than just sitting at home watching it. So yeah.
I tend to agree. I tend to agree too. But and hopefully COVID's not the new normal where we have to keep doing this. But I do understand you want that real experience. Plus, it gives you the chance to cosplay.
Exactly. Exactly. Everyone loves Gene's Bullwinkle costume.
Oh man. All right, Shaw, let's hit on topic number 2. What we got?
All right, so first up, here we go. Okay, we have some sad news. Actress Dame Dana Rigg has passed away. She's best known for playing Olenna Tyrell on Game of Thrones. Apparently, she was in the Avengers. I don't remember. She was also a Bond girl.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
The Avengers that they're talking about is a British TV show called The Avengers.
Right.
Yeah, she was the lead girl in that. So yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
She was also in one episode of Doctor Who with her daughter. It was a good episode. Yeah. So yeah, that's some sad news from right there.
Very sad news.
Next up, some really big news that I'm really happy about. The Walking Dead is finally freaking ending.
What? No. How could you be happy?
I can finally get a New York Comic-Con badge without having The Walking Dead on that shit.
No.
Every year since 2011 or 2012. Every single year since 2012.
They do a lot of filming up here in Moncton, from my understanding, for most of like the Walking Dead scenes. So yeah, and where it's hard to get back and forth for filming. So yes, and then also too, well, they're getting close to the end of where the comic books already go. Anywho, so
Yeah, they still have their spinoffs though. Like they have the Fear thing that's still going on, and a new one that's coming soon, I guess.
It actually kicked off in 2010. So if you really think about it, it's a very, very successful series. I'm a huge fan of The Walking Dead. I don't know about Will, but I love Walking Dead. So this is sad news for me as well. So we need to get some actual good news on here.
My issue, I've never been a fan of The Walking Dead. I never have. I never got into it. But from about 11 seasons, my issue is you kill off too many people. You killed off too many people.
They have to, man. It's the zombie apocalypse.
But you can make a case this should have ended season 9.
You could, but then you leave so much unanswered.
Yeah, it's also too, if you go back to the comic book series, it is a very extensive series, and a lot of people get killed off in that comic book as well. Same people, same thing. So and you got to give it for the writing for it to be a show that's been from 2010 to 10 years going. You don't see too many shows that do this long of a run. So
and it doesn't follow the comic word for word. Like it definitely has its own spin as far as keeping it on TV.
Right. Yeah.
And it just when you think you're like, oh, I've seen this in the comic book, I know what's going to happen, they flip it on you, and you're like, holy crap, I didn't expect that. So I always enjoyed that, but that was just me.
Right.
All right, what we got next, y'all?
All right, next up, we got 2 actors promoted as series regulars on Batwoman. We got Christina Wolf. She's that chick that was dating Kate for a while. That ended up being the sister of Magpie. And Warren Christie. That's the dude that's playing the Bruce Wayne / Hush character. So yeah, they're series regulars.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
We got news that apparently Robbie Amell is interested in coming back as Firestorm for the Arrowverse at some point. So there's a chance that might happen now.
Let me ask this. Did you really get into that character though? I mean, from what little bit they showed of him on Flash, did you really invest a lot in him?
I liked him. Yeah, I liked him. I mean, I used to the actor from.
It also runs into how well the character was perceived because he's been put into other sources of media. Like you look at the Injustice 2, he's all over that. Firestorm's all over that. So to have people being invested into that, they want that character. That's where you're going to start seeing it. So if you're making the money somewhere else, they want that character. CW's big on doing that.
I have to agree.
All right, so what else we got, my friend?
All right, we have a birthday for Tyler Hoechlin.
Yay, happy birthday.
Yeah, it's his birthday. We also have a birthday for, what's her name? Elizabeth. What's her last name? Elizabeth Hench, the actress that plays Gemma Simmons on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay. That is a hard last name.
All right. We got a rumor that is confirmed that in the movie The Marvel's Eternals, apparently there's going to be a Bollywood dance scene, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, I get that they're dictating and catering to all cultures. I get that it's Disney. They have that ethnic feel. But do we really need Bollywood dancing in the Eternal movie? It doesn't play into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like I can only say that this could, if they do put it in, it will be like a Easter egg cut scene, something where they're just going to be like all like sitting down talking, and then all of a sudden, dun 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 dun, dun, and you know what I mean? And then that's how I see it, picturing it, so that they just, at least it's there, we've done it, and move on, sort of thing.
Yeah, well, let's hope it's an extra scene.
Yeah.
Well, they did it with the whole sandwiches when they were in the Avengers. Like everybody, there was a rumor like, oh, they're going to go to the subway type thing, and then they did, but it was at the end, and it was like just a mediocre scene. Like, it was good that it wasn't put in the actual pacing of the movie.
Right.
Because that was like done last minute though. That was like done after the first showing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. All right. We also got apparently news that season 6 of Lucifer is going to be 10 episodes.
Yes.
So a lot shorter.
Yes. I'm just glad it was just season 6. I'm a fan. I wasn't at first. My buddy kept talking about it, so I checked into it. I'm like, wow, I'm hooked.
Actually, there is a rumor stating that the actor that plays Lucifer wants to become the next Doctor.
Wow.
Yes, I've heard that.
Wow.
And
that would be interesting.
That would be very interesting.
I think it would be.
Yeah. And be one of those actors that already played a character on Doctor Who too. So
yeah, true.
Yeah.
Let's see. We also have the Wonder Woman movie again has been delayed. This time it'll be, I believe, in December.
Man, why they doing me like this?
It makes sense because like theaters in New York aren't open, and New York is one of the big markets.
That's true too.
Is it because of COVID though?
Yes, because of COVID.
Okay.
Man, come on, man.
Yeah, come on, Will. You got to work with it. We didn't ask for COVID.
That's true. It's just the fact that
hotbed movie areas, and one of them is also, you have New York, but you also have California, where LA still not many theaters are opened up, and you want that Chinese theater premiere. Everybody's looking for that. That's the main ticket. If you're not going to get it,
not to mention California is kind of like on fire right now, literally. So they got to get that under control first. But anyway,
let me ask you guys this. How would you prefer your movies? Would you prefer it going to the theaters, or would you take some type of video on demand type of deal?
No, something to this scale. Wonder Woman, as big as they've been putting it out there, I want to go see it in the theater. I know they did the on demand thing for
Mulan.
Yeah, Mulan. That was not okay. That was not okay. How are you
$30 for
$30. I've never went. If I've ever gone to a theater and spent $30, I'm like scratching my head. That's some expensive candy, I'm not spending $30. No.
And the thing is, it was okay. So the Mulan gets pushed to Disney Plus. If you didn't get Disney Plus, you didn't have Disney Plus. Now they're trying to push Disney Plus on everybody to go see Mulan. The movie, I think, would have been a lot better took if it had been in theaters, because that's what it was set for. So yeah, a movie like Wonder Woman, definitely you want to watch it in theater. You don't want to be streaming it, because it's going to be, not to say that everybody has a theater quality setup, but it's going to be lackluster if you don't get it in the theaters.
They could have just made history and put it on prime time for free, no commercials. That would have been epic. That would have been given back to everybody suffering through Corona. Yeah, you're not going to make no money, but at the same time, Walt Disney, are they really hurting?
That's a good point.
Come on here.
That's a good point. And guys, let's do a quick reset. I'm your host, Mr. William Morgan. We got Shaw here on the other side, and we have our two special guests with us, Gene and Brandon from the Paradigm Shift Wrestling Podcast. All right, so what we got next, my friend?
All right, so we finally got the most recent death battle of the Flash for Wally West versus the Archie version of Sonic, and the winner is the Flash.
Oh, wow.
I told y'all the borrowing speed powers. What did it?
It did. It really did. And we called it. Me, you, and Dave, who was in the chat. We called it. Flash got that victory. But Sonic didn't go down without a fight.
True, very true, very true.
Like they said, both of them were super overpowered, but Wally had the experience, knew the Speed Force, knew how to do it, so he reversed time, went back in time right before Sonic was about to grab that Chaos Emerald, done him in.
And got him.
Yep.
And got him.
Say,
Have you guys been satisfied with this season of Death Battle so far?
I actually have been. The ones that I've seen, and I've watched the entire Death Battle season, before being on your show the last time with the Sailor Moon ones. I watched every single one, got all the way up, got myself all caught back up, and I cannot wait to see Red Hood and Winter Soldier. That one is going to be, that one's going to be something.
Yeah, that should be real good.
Yeah.
Can I get some predictions? Can I get a prediction? Who's going to go on the line? Give a prediction.
Oh man,
I'm going Red Hood. He has the teaching, so I'm going Red Hood. Teaching and experience. I mean, Winter Soldier was a soul.
I had to do this. I had to disagree. Not because I have the Marvel behind me, not because I'm wearing Marvel. It's because Bucky has been around a lot longer, has been under the teaching of Captain America. Plus, he's got the experience with the Soviet Union as being a KGB agent. He also has the experience that Natasha has. So I would have to give it to the Winter Soldier.
Not to mention,
but the Red Hood was trained by Batman, though. Training from Batman kind of trumps that.
Almighty American. I get it, but at the end of the day, I had to go with Bucky.
You got Brandon.
Well, anybody that kills Nazis is okay with me. So I'm gonna go Bucky, Winter Soldier. I just like. I'm not gonna try to copy what Gene said, but with the time that he's been there and he's just got it, man. I feel like he's more battle tested. So, yeah, Winter Soldier.
That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. If it's me, man, that's rough. If it's me, and I've always said, for the most part, Death Battle tends to zig when you zag. So,
I can see the sweat pulling now.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's hard, man. It's hard. Both these guys are pretty much equal in terms of fighting. But to me, Batman beat Captain America. And Batman is the teacher eventually of Red Hood. So when it comes down to it at the end of the day, so I gotta go with Red Hood because of that fact. My logic might be flawed, but that's
the only thing here is the way I'm looking at it. The reason why I went with the Winter Soldier to back my sort of the reason why is because this is Jason Todd we're talking about. Jason Todd was very unliked by the popular culture. If you remember,
that's true.
Todd was Robin,
but he was unliked as Robin, but as Red Hood, he's loved.
Yeah, and
he was unliked.
Yeah,
but as Red Hood, he's loved.
Yeah, he's liked as the Red Hood. When they brought him back as the Red Hood, he was liked. But what I'm saying is the beginnings, his origin is Robin. Jason Todd started off as Robin, who was basically not too many people liked him. He was a hood kid. Even Batman sort of didn't take too much of a liking because it was just like, Jason couldn't get it. And then when the fans were like, "Oh, we're have a phone in and what's going to happen? Are you going to let Jason Todd live or die?" And then everybody, it was like almost like unanimous, like kill him off.
It wasn't unanimous. It was close. That shit was close. I remember the thing. It was close.
Yeah.
It was like, I think, I don't remember the exact number, but it was close. It was like only a few away. It was like 51% for.
Yeah, and so Jason Todd as a youngster has not had very much love, but Jason Todd as the Red Hood, he has got that second birth. So, we'll see what happens when it comes down to it and see how the people over on Rooster Teeth and their analysis and picked it apart and see who wins, because I'm ready to see how this goes.
It's gonna be tough. It may
just
come
gonna say
down to It may come down on the Winter Soldier's arm.
That's exactly what I was fixing to say, Will. Captain America did not have a metal arm.
He did.
He did not have a metal arm.
It may come down to that. Yes, I called it. That's not almost money called out to it, bro. I gotta get my money. I gotta get my cheese, man.
Yeah.
Well, look when Batman faced Black Panther, and there again, Winter Soldier spent some time in Wakanda. So
Yeah.
He spent some time hanging out with Wakanda. He didn't know what they were training.
they called him the White Wolf. There was a reason behind that.
They just called him the White Wolf. He wasn't doing no fighting there. There wasn't no fighting there. He was there milking some goats and stuff. That's it.
You know how hard it is to milk a goat with one arm? Because didn't they take the arm from him and souped it up? Okay, there's some training going on there.
True.
Did you just drink milk?
No, I'm actually drinking water.
I'm about to say.
It's moose milk.
Moose milk, man. Moose milk.
It's good for your toenails.
The reason why,
Oh my goodness. Real quick reset with the 27-minute in mark. Real quick reset. I'm your host, William Morgan. We got Shaw, my co-host. We got Gene Emerson and Brandon, our special guest over from the Paradigm Shift. All right, Shaw, what we got next, my friend?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Next up. Okay, so recently, this past week, we got the 25th anniversary of Xena, Warrior Princess, the TV show.
Wow.
Are you guys fans of that back in the day?
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember the whole sequence. You had Xena, and then later on you had Kevin Sorbo's Hercules, and they all tied in.
Yep,
great stuff.
Yep.
Actually, Hercules was first. Xena came later.
Hercules was first, and then Xena. Yeah, Xena was a spinoff of Hercules. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Xena was still great though.
It was both shows were great.
They were.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were.
Yeah.
There was even a cartoon animated movie.
Yep.
That was high in
Voiced by those guys, exactly. Oh my goodness. Probably one of my, and I'm not trying to put down Gal Gadot. I'm not, because she's fantastic. She's great. But when Lucy was younger, wouldn't she have been also Wonder Woman?
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
She actually got the voice Wonder Woman once. And the anime movie,
I remember that.
Final Frontier. Yeah, Final Frontier.
Yep, I remember that. Yep.
Which I definitely say is definitely worth a watch. Final Frontier is definitely worth a watch.
Oh, Lucy Liu would sorry. I said Lucy Liu. I don't know why.
Asian Wonder Woman.
Yeah. No, but honestly, Xena's always been great. And then when I heard through the rumor mills when they were talking about doing a reboot of it, it's like, who do you right now would grab as the next Xena? Because that's an iconic role, really. Like, who would you look at even if just through TV actors or actresses, I should say, TV actresses, who would you pick as to go as your next Xena, the Warrior Princess? Because it was always a character that was against the grain, against the norm of everything that was, going to the day.
I think there's a lot of memorable moments in that show that stick out in the forefront. And it spun off a lot of people who I wish we could have gotten afterward. Callisto was one. I thought Callisto was a very interesting character. I thought she was cool. Jackson was straight as the quote-unquote clown jester. He ended up dying in the end. When they brought her daughter in with her, the interaction between her daughter and Xena when they first met, I thought that was some of the most interesting stuff that I've ever seen on TV, because of the fact you see them trying to forge a relationship with one another. It finally took root, but that thing took a minute. Yeah. And then the dude that played Eli, he looked. No, I don't know if anyone was religious, but he looked just like Jesus. Mm-hmm. Just like the dude.
They tried to veil it's saying that he wasn't, but that's definitely who he was.
Yeah, he looked like him.
They were like, "Oh, his name is Eli," and everything else.
Yeah, with the hair and everything like that, he looked just like him. So, but Xena was great.
Yeah.
Oh, the show was great. That goes back to, and you just touched a point. I think that really comes up. Would Xena and also Hercules, would those shows be able to be shot in today's world?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be. They wouldn't be
some
as
things, like if you look back, because you got to remember the LGBT community wasn't as big as it was, but you could tell that they were leading toward that in certain episodes and stuff. So you'd be touching on things like, if you look at it in a basic and whole, they got away as us as 90s kids.
Yep.
They got away with a lot. A lot of TV shows got away with a lot at that point in time that they could do. And we go, wow, we talked about it, it's phenomenal. And people would look at it today and you'd have, I hate to say this, but you would have those Karens that would go, well, that's not supposed to be on TV.
You know what though? I think it would be more so. It would be more so more popular now.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a long shot, but if somebody like Marvel got a hold of it and put their little spin on it and how they can, I think it'd be awesome. I would watch it.
And I know I would. And shout out to Renee O'Connell too, playing Gabrielle. Shout out to her too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
She's still good today.
She grew, and I liked her because she grew into Gabrielle. Xena was already Xena. She just had to find herself somewhat, and find out what her path to righteousness was. But Gabrielle had to sort of kind of grow into being Gabrielle, and I like that a lot, particularly when she decided to take the teachings of Eli. I like that because it showed that there was a different way of fighting. Instead of her picking up a weapon, she was using like different powders out of her hand and things like that to fight. So I love the show, and I think it would be fantastic in today's world. She got a lot of hype off of LGBTQ, and she would get even more today.
Oh yeah,
I would love to see her in today. And Lucy still looks good.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, she did a few things afterward, and I know she's an environmentalist too, so she's still doing her thing. All right, Char, what we got, man? Okay, I can, fix your sound. I can't hear you.
Also this week was apparently Star Trek Day. So they celebrating Star Trek and the cast. There was some panels to look for online and stuff. What do you guys experience with Star Trek?
Captain Kirk.
My experience has been I will say this right from the get-go when I started getting into it when I was about 6 years old. It was been from Kirk to Picard to Deep Space. I've seen it all, heard it all, watched it all. I had to shout out to Picard, the television show. If anybody's seen it, go see it. If you have not seen it, that's a must watch. I tell you, it's a must watch. Very well written. I've always been happy with the writing that came out of Star Trek. There was a point the writing wasn't so good, but we don't talk about the Deep Space Nine era. But no, Star Trek has always been a part of my life, and definitely, I did not catch any of the Star Trek Day stuff that went on online, but it's always a good time to reflect and remember Leonard Nimoy, and go back and watch some lovely Star Trek movies if you got them.
So I'll be completely honest. Star Trek for me came later in life. I wasn't a huge fan. Of course, I was not the same kind of person I am now. When I was a teenager, I was wild. But when the movies started coming out, I was like, wow, I've really missed a lot here. So then I went watching, some of the old episodes, and dude, Captain Kirk is smooth as molasses.
Yes.
I'm inspired to be like Captain Kirk.
You aspire to be like William Shatner from Canada. Look at that. And we must be here today to see the mission as it will.
Oh
Gene.
man,
Only a Canadian can imitate another Canadian.
I love
Something some other way.
I love William Shatner, but the one to me, the best one to me, in terms of overall, the original was great, but the one that really got me hooked, because I was a kid when the first episodes, the first series came out, and I really didn't take it in like that. I just knew Captain Kirk was cool with the phasers and the ladies, but later on, as I got older, Next Generation was the one that got me.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
oh my goodness, man. Picard, man.
Yeah.
Number one. Fix this for me, number one. Fix this. Take care of this. And Geordi, then Data. Oh man. Next Generation was the one that did it for me. I had issues with Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine was okay, but I had issues with Deep Space Nine. But Next Generation was the one that really did it for me. Really did
For
it.
sure.
Oh my goodness. All right, what we got next, y'all?
All right, so next up, my friends. Lock my phone. Okay, next. Oh yeah, next up, for all of y'all who remember playing video games in the early 2000s, you may remember a little game called Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're getting a remake, and that remake's coming out January 21st, 2021.
Wow.
Man.
Huge news. I'll be honest, when I was reading this earlier, I was really like excited. I played the games. I wasn't a fan of the first movie. If they're going to bring it back and do it right now, oh my gosh, yes. We need this.
That game was awesome. The games were awesome.
The games were awesome. The movie,
Not so much.
something to be seen. You know, I mean, it's okay. Got great action, but you know, I mean, whatever. But no. I always was a fan. I go way back, even with Prince of Persia, to the original games, and you know the ideal stylization. So it's come a long way, and to hear that it's getting a remaster again in a better form, I think it can be done. Just saying, I've just recently played the new Avengers game, and I've been enthralled into that. So if they have the right developers and the right mindset, I think it would be something awesome to play.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
My thing with that movie, it did put an effort. It did at least try. But look at the time period. If you take some of those same elements and do it today with better special effects and a little bit better acting, it could work. It could work.
And some fucking effort.
Yes.
The only effort that was
not
put
funny
into that
person.
movie was the villain who played the villain, and he's always puts effort into every movie he puts into. Everybody else was, it's
Some freaking sand zombies. Some freaking having him actually use the damn dagger a few times instead of just like once.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. But I think, like I said, if it was in today's realm, I think it'd be done proper. All right, what we got up next, my friend?
All right, so for all our fans who are players of the card game Yu-Gi-Oh, we recently got a ban list. I mean, an actual ban list, not like the last one that was like, here's 2 cards off the list for no reason and no other changes. We actually got a ban list this time. All right, so banned. First off, we got.
What up, boys?
Gosh, what's up, man? Everybody, let me bring in the host of Paradigm Shift Wrestling Podcast, the host and our good friend Josh. Josh, how are you doing, man?
Doing good, sir. Doing good. I just thought I'd jump in here for this very special episode. I just got off work, so.
Thank you, sir. Let me run. And before you continue with that band list, y'all, let me do a quick reset. Let everybody know who's here. Got myself, William Morgan. Shaw is here. Brandon, Gene, and Josh. Paradigm Shift Wrestling Podcast buddies. Thank you guys for coming out. We appreciate it.
no problem.
All right, Shaw, go ahead and finish up.
All right, so first off, we got O-Lion and Jet Synchron are gone, so that Needle Fiber combo is not gone, but it's slowed down a lot. We also got Black Dragon is gone, so
Dang it, man.
yeah, Core Emancipators. They now can't go +6.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Limited to 1 now. We got Double Iris Magician. So, Pendulum can do something, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see, we got Rusty Pardouche. Yeah, whatever that one synchro not necessarily that one link that you search, and that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Call by the Graves at 1, which is like, why?
Yeah, I don't
We
understand
need that.
I don't understand that.
I mean, with all these freaking hand traps around, we need that.
Yep.
Okay. Harpy Feather Duster is now at 1, so that kind of came out of nowhere.
That really?
Yeah, Harpy Feather Duster. I mean, we're getting a reprint soon.
That thing's been banned for years.
Yeah, that was like on I think the first list. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all limits.
Oh.
All right, we got 2 different Burning Abyss hitting 2.
Mm.
I don't care. So yeah, we got ABC Dragon hitting 2, which that shit needs to be 0.
For real.
We got Totally Awesome Frog, which needs to be 1 at most.
Agreed.
Yeah. Now hitting 3, we got Machiura Destroyer, because it's going to be a Arad.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's going to be a ride. It's going to be a ride. Okay.
Yeah. We got Tour Guide hitting 3. So they're trying to bring Abyss back.
Dark World's back when you do that.
Yeah. We got the ritual thingy, whatever. I can't pronounce the damn name. Whatever. Let's see. Pantheon of Monarchs. So Monarchs are at full power now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And last but not least, we got Sky Striker, Mecha, Widow Anchor. As long as they don't got Engage, fine, whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
Then again, they've still been hitting like top 16, so that shit needs to go. So yeah, that's all the I apologize for the cursing. My bad. It just keeps coming out. My bad. I'll try to do better.
That's shy every day's life.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming these
I
are.
was going to say, can we not cuss on this show? Because I'm out. You know my mouth.
Yep.
So I'm assuming these are all banned for tournament play, correct?
Yep, tournament play.
Ban unlimited. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so
All
what
right.
do you got next, my friend?
Yes, sir. Next up, there's a rumor that may have been confirmed, but a rumor that half of season 2 of The Mandalorian is going to be focused on other characters. So, like, the first half will be about him, then the rest will be around other characters. Like, apparently,
Have they said who? Maybe.
Yeah, like we know that Ahsoka Tano is going to be there, and I'm hearing that other Clone Wars characters will be there too. We'll see.
That'd be interesting.
But they haven't said who they might be focusing on.
Yeah, it's just a rumor so far, so we'll see.
Oh man, that would be really cool.
Yeah. All right, next up, next month, the rights issue will be over for Luke Cage and Iron Fist, so they'll finally be able to be rebooted.
There you go.
I was actually
You
talking
think
about this.
Disney's got something planned for it?
We'll see. I mean, maybe, likely.
I was actually talking about this today with a friend of mine in one of my TikTok families, and we got mentioning, about this. And I said, why don't they just, where they already have a movie planned in the 4th MCU planning for the Chinese guy, I forget his name, Xiaolin, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For a movie, well, why don't they just, where the rights are going to be up, why don't they just reboot the Defenders and make an actual Defenders movie, use the actors from those shows, but just turn them into an actual movie and do it that way, and then you'd be able to add Hulk and Benedict Cumberbatch in there to make them the official Defenders, and then bang, just finish it that way.
I guess it would depend on what.
I'm down with anything that brings back Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. I'm sorry, but they had the 2 absolute best actors to play those roles. The girl who played Jessica Jones, I didn't even know about Jessica Jones until I watched that show. She sold me on that character and made me go look for the comic books, all that shit.
Wow,
She
dude.
played that character
Yeah.
so well. They did a really good job in that show in staying pretty true to the comic book character.
Yeah, definitely.
The thing that sold me
And
on
then,
Jessica
I mean-
Jones was not Jessica Jones herself. It was David Tennant, because I was already a Doctor Who fan.
Yeah, I mean,
Tenet, yeah.
you can hate on Tenet, man. If you're hating on Doctor Who, we're gonna have a problem.
I don't hate on Doctor Who. That's what brought me to that show, because that's what I love Tennant. I was
Tenet is the
Yeah,
man, best doctor ever.
I think that I like Luke Cage better than I did Jessica Jones as a series. But I get where Josh is coming from, because she did put in, she made you invest in Jessica.
Yes.
She made you watch that
Yeah.
show. The first season to me was better than a second.
Yeah.
But
It was.
she made
Well,
you.
and I think some of that was what Gene said. It was Tenet. Tenet
Yeah.
made that first season. He
Yeah.
played. I didn't never think that guy could play a villain. He played a villain so well, like so well.
My
Yeah.
my son Hunter, who's in the chat with us right now, is a huge Jessica Jones fan. Huge Jessica Jones fan. So, and I get it, because she did such a great job. I didn't know who she was until she did Jessica Jones.
Yes.
Know who she was. So,
I did not know until they started looping them in with other shows. I didn't know it was a Marvel show. When they started looping in other things, I was like, wait, she's a Marvel character?
oh yeah.
Yeah, it was funny going into it, because I knew about the Defenders and how they were going to play it, and I already knew who the original group of Defenders. And I'm like, okay, it's Jessica Jones. We got Luke Cage. We got Iron Fist. Now I was like, okay, and we got Daredevil. I'm just like, oh, I'm waiting for Hulk, or I'm waiting for Benedict Cumberbatch just to show up somewhere in the Defenders, because I'm like, oh, those are the original Defenders. And they hint on and they talk about them being there on the other side, but it was just like, nah.
Yeah, but that goes back to Marvel not wanting to mix. They were wanting the Netflix shows and the cinematic to be separate, not mixed. But I agree with you. They failed in that. Like, they needed that one big star from the movies to really pull it. And that was my thing, too, is in my comic book age, I was not that young. I didn't know that iteration, the original iteration of the Defenders, until I started doing some research.
How do you guys think the Defenders are as a team?
I mean,
What was
well,
the
depending on which team. I mean, if you mean like the Netflix Defenders,
The Netflix team.
they're decent. They have good fighting skills and everything. We're talking like the comics. More recently, you got like Silver Surfer, Intelligent-ish Hulk, Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
I think White
Wasn't that
Tiger's
team?
part of them at one point. Wasn't she part of the Defenders?
I think she was a Defender too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so like the thing here is if now with their leases being up, if they were to start pulling this towards the cinematic universe, here's your next group for the Avengers. Here's how you would transfer everybody into like Avengers 2.0 sort of thing. Because everything is sort of already capped off at Endgame, and everybody's asking what's next. Well, here's your what next, because there's always been like an Avengers East Coast, an Avengers West Coast, Avengers, whatever. So this would be a perfect way cinematically to go, okay, here's your next group. It would work.
Haven't they already announced those?
Blade at one point was a Defender, so if they're going with the running with Blade, it would work in perfectly. It would mesh. It would, you know what I mean?
What you saying, Josh?
Haven't they already announced that the next Avengers is going to be all female?
Yeah, yes, that is true.
They're working. Yeah,
They're working
they've
towards
said no release date yet, but yeah.
That's what Captain Marvel is going to be. That's her team that she.
Boo!
Bruh.
I'd be okay with it if they replaced Brie Larson.
Bruh.
Well, hey, all they
Dude.
gotta do is introduce Rogue. Rogue.
I have been. If I see that on my screen, where Rogue takes her powers and puts an end to that. If I see that in my lifetime, oh my gosh, man, I would be so freaking happy. Yeah, I would be so happy. I wouldn't care who played role. I wouldn't care. Just give me that. My gosh, give me that. All right, man, what we got next on deck?
All right, so sometime earlier today, that's a little something. Apparently, recently, Chris Evans accidentally posted a picture on Instagram of him nude or something. And because of that, he's been trending on Twitter. So yeah, that happened.
You see, that went what viral right before Showtime?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Literally right before Showtime. That went viral. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm going on Twitter. Yeah.
Man.
All right. Also,
got to be more careful.
Also, yeah, definitely. Also through Twitter, apparently, the David Ayer, cut of Suicide Squad would have El Diablo living apparently. So if anyone's interested in that, yeah.
Say that again.
And the David Ayer, the director, if his version of his original cut of Suicide Squad, El Diablo, to do with the fire, he lives apparently. So.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, they're doing a whole list of recuts. I know there's one for even the Justice League. There's a recut on how they wanted it to be done. So.
Yep.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Last piece of news we got is the Doom trailer. Anyone saw the Doom trailer?
I did not.
Anyone interested in Doom?
Doom. Oh no, I did not see it, but I will definitely look it up. Or Doom. Yeah.
Man.
Doom.
I remember the original movie.
Doom.
Patrick Stewart is in that one. I remember the original, but I have not.
And
seen
they are
the
separating
new
into two movies.
They
They
are
are separating into
both.
two movies, though. Yeah,
Okay.
which is good because there's a lot of content in that book. You know.
There is. And if anybody remembered the '90s video game, the strategy, real-time strategy, I played that. There's a shit ton of content in that as well. There's a whole whack of content. Like the book was long. The movie that came out during that time was not as long, but it didn't explain as much as the game or as the book. So,
All right. We're 53 minutes in. Let's do a quick before we get into our topics of the night. Let's do a quick reset of guests, and then we'll get right into finishing up the show. I'm your host, William Morgan. We got Shaw here, co-host. We got Brandon. We got Josh and Gene, my buddy from the Paradigm Shift Wrestling Podcast. Definitely check us out over on Pinfall Productions. 10 p.m. my time. Josh, you're Central, right? So
Yeah, we're both Central, yes.
okay, so it'd be 9 on your guys' watch.
it would be 11 on the East Coast.
Be 11 for you. Okay.
Atlantic time, yeah.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on over to our topics. What we got for those, Shaw?
Yes, sir. First up, we got what is wrong with anime today.
Ooh.
Now, I'm not that caught up on stuff. Like a lot of my favorite animes are like older ones, like 2010s and around there. So I don't know much about today's anime. Like I still haven't seen Attack on Titan yet. Sword Art Online. I know of them. I've seen YouTube videos of them and stuff. But so yeah, I'm not caught up. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think to answer that question?
Do you want to go first there, Brandon?
I kind of have to agree. I'm not really caught up either. I tried to watch Attack on Titan. Wasn't into it. Just wasn't my thing. I'm very much an old school guy, so I really don't.
You
want to
go there, Josh, next?
You want to go next? What's wrong?
I'm actually gonna have to bounce out, guys. For some reason, I have an issue with my audio.
Okay.
Y'all have a good night.
Josh, I'll hit you up tomorrow, man. Thank you for coming out.
Yeah, no problem, buddy.
All right, bro. All right, man. I'll take this one first, and then well, Gene, you're our guest. Go ahead.
Yeah, I will put my 2 cents on this. Comparing 90s to today, To me, it comes down to story. That's what it comes down to. Today's stories are very short. Well, look at today's demographic. It's short term. People are trying to get, a bunch of content as fast as they possibly can, which then makes lackluster stories. You look at stories back in the 90s. Let's talk Sailor Moon. Let's even talk Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. The stories captivated you. You wanted to continue to keep watching. Once you heard something, it left you on a cliffhanger. You wanted that next bit of anime. Where in today's, it's as quick as possible. Let's get them out, and sometimes you lack on story. Not to say that it isn't a good anime. It's just the story in maybe 3 or 4 episodes that should have been a little bit more lengthier. It should have had a little bit more detail. Just don't have it, and you're like, and why are we here now? You know what I mean? And then they try to catch you up on like episode 5 with a bunch of stuff, and they're trying to hit you with too much. So that's to me, it's all about story. Story is the main thing when it comes to anime.
And I would
that's a lot of things, though.
Oh, yeah, yes, and I tend to agree with that, because when you look back in early anime, you look at the 90s, and you look at some of the classics which you judge today's anime by. You look at something like Cowboy Bebop, Lupin the Third. When you look at stuff like Yu Yu Hakusho, it's always a strong story there. It's not just something that was just thrown together and you over sexualize it.
Yes.
That's the one thing that you have seen a lot. If you look at your anime today, Funimation, Verve, and just look at it. Lack story, over sexualized characters, and that's something that wasn't around back in the day. Back in the day, storyline was great, character development was cool. In Dragon Ball's case, Super was built off transformations. It was built off Goku getting this transformation, Vegeta getting this transformation, and that was pretty much about it. But when you go back and look at Dragon Ball Z, particularly early on, everybody got power-ups. Goku got power-ups. Vegeta got power. There was one point in the show, Piccolo was stronger than Vegeta.
Yeah.
And Piccolo hadn't gotten a power-up since Z. And I'm sort of kind of mad about that. Just
yeah, we should be, but I mean, don't get me started on Dragon Ball Z. The whole from start to finish, from the Dragon Ball to what we got now, I am super fan. So if any time you want to have another show about that, just let me know.
Well, another thing too that was also interesting. Gohan actually lost he didn't want to fight anymore. So he had to take exactly stupid. How you gonna a Saiyan's urge and heritage is to fight. Yeah. And for some reason, Chi-Chi didn't want him to fight. Chi-Chi wanted him, but I want him to be a royal scholar. Get the heck out of here with that, man.
The Super Saiyan man.
Yeah, I could see that being the case for her story development. Don't get me wrong. But when we enter into the Buu saga, we see that Gohan embraced that whole scholar, and he lost his will to fight, and he lost his power. No, he didn't lose his power, but you know what I mean. Like he wasn't confident like we saw him in the Cell saga. You know, like you look at Cell saga, Gohan, and then Buu saga Gohan starting off, you're like, what in the hell happened?
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
And the thing about it too, and a lot of people look at GT. Some people didn't like GT. Some people liked. Some people did. Some people didn't. It was kind of half and half. Nobody.
I wasn't an overly big fan of GT, but it is what it is.
Yep.
But like we were saying, with anime of yesteryear to today, you'll even go back to all the old anime movies that Disney has. You look at any of those old anime Hiroshito movies, and the stories are phenomenal. And you look and then you can take any of those and I could sit there and watch a multitude of those movies before I would watch anything today. And some of them were written back in the 80s.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that should tell us something. Like, if there's a story that I'd rather want to watch from the 80s than turn on something today, there's the problem. As we're saying, it's story. It's 100% story. If there's no story, or if a lackluster of story,
yep,
nobody's going to pay attention. Yeah, you can put all the overall sexualization. You can have all the great fight scenes and attack. But if there's no story to hold the arc and hold the people interest,
yep,
I'm not going to watch it.
Yep.
That's just at the end of the day.
And I think, and that's such a good point. Such a good point. I agree. And it's really a shame that it's come down to that. I think the only two anime right now that's worth watching would be Attack on Titan and Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga is over on Amazon Prime. Hunter, you might want to move. There's a little sound from the but this is my Hunter. Hunter, how you doing, man? I can't hear you. Okay, Hunter. Okay, he muted himself.
Yeah. What's up?
What's up, man? You want to get on this real quick? You might want to move.
I have no idea where you need me to go, honestly.
Just somewhere because we getting a hissing noise over the speakers.
Oh, I'm too close to you. That's what that is.
That might be that. Okay.
Oh, that's way better now.
This is better?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm moving around right now, but the thing is, I'm a little more caught up on some anime now. I will say this: there are some anime in the big three that didn't have the issues that were going on with the modern day anime industry. I'd say Bleach was pretty good as far as pacing went, but the thing is, you ended up with a unique problem with an overpowered main character, and that was the most ridiculous part of that story. Then you have some that go on way too long. One Piece is still going. That's 1,000 episodes and running, and I don't get why. You could have ended it at any point. Sword Art Online. Now the thing is, I can't stand the original Sword Art Online. Just because the plot points are bad and the writing is bad, and the only thing that carries it is the art. That's what carries Sword Art Online, unfortunately. The writer's a hack.
Agreed.
It's like don't get me wrong. He took what Dot Hack Sign did and tried to make it his own thing, but the thing is, he lost what made Dot Hack special. It was the character growth and progression that made Dot Hack good. It wasn't just, hey, I have an overpowered main character. I'm going to name him the Black Swordsman, and you're going to like him. I'm like, no, this isn't Berserk. Berserk has a Black Swordsman that's way better. Why are you ripping on guts like that? What else is going on in anime? I can't stand the fact that, fan service is way too much in both series now. It's not like it can stand by on its own. And the thing is, the fan service skews two directions. It's either little underage girls or it's females that don't need to be necessarily in the story.
Right.
They're just there to be big boobs and that's it.
Yep.
And I said about Naruto. They had one character just for that reason, so they could make a joke about her having giant boobs. That was it.
And real quick, and then I'm gonna let you roll because that sound's coming back too. Hold on 1 second. Can I do that? Okay. Say that again, Hunter. Oh, it's really bad now.
Yeah, it's bad. I'll go ahead and drop out. You guys do what you do. I just want to give my 2 thoughts on at least somewhat modern anime at this point.
You good to go, man. Thank you.
All right,
Later,
man.
Wow.
That was my oldest son. He's 26. And one of the things he does is watch anime, computer games, things like that. He wanted to jump in on that topic. But yeah, the two that I watched the most, Attack on Titan, Vinland Saga. Those are the two I watched the most, and to me, those are the two that's best. She-Hero was good until Malphemy got older. And when Malphemy got older, all the anime pervs just ran right over to her and started just going crazy. And that ruined the show. But the SAO, Sword Art Online, I call it sexual assault online. And I hate it. Black Clover, hate it. Barto, hate it. There's just a lot of bad anime out there because it steers away from the writing. And hopefully things do get better. All right, Shay, do we have anything else on the list?
Yeah, we have a couple. Assuming we have still time.
Yeah.
All right. So the question was posed on the internet: why the snap didn't affect Agent of Shield? Now the obvious answer is because at that point they stopped caring about crossing over. They stopped caring. But I have a theory. I have a theory that the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. timeline split from the movie timeline at one point, which changed everything. That being General Hale, that chick that was Hydra.
Yep.
In the timeline with the movies, she's captured along with everybody else. But in the TV show, she's not. That leads to her joining up with those alien people and them invading. Them invading happened at the same time as Infinity War. So my thought is this: at that time when that happens, Cap and everybody in Wakanda would have found out that that's happening there, so you know that they have to finish up fighting there to get over there to deal with that as well. So when Thor showed up, someone said, "Hey, listen, over here at this place, we got to deal with that too. So we got to do this quick." And maybe over there, Jane Foster's there too. So in that universe, he actually did go for the head. So no snap. Also, it makes more sense, saying that they're two different split off that way, because we know that during that season, in their future, Earth was destroyed completely, which doesn't happen in the movies. We know that.
Yep.
So, Virgin Paths. What do you guys think of that?
That's true.
I have to sort of agree or tweak the little theory. Remember what the Sorcerer Supreme had said. If you take one stone out of the timeline, it creates an alternate timeline. And if you put it back, then everything should be fixed. Now, we already know that Tony Stark messes up and gives back the cube to Loki, and Loki then leaves. There is going to be a Loki show. Could this be a part of that universe? Who knows? So there's a multiple different spin-offs to that they could not be affected by the snap. Because once again, we all know what has happened. If you spoilers to anybody by now who hasn't watched Endgame, Loki survives in one timeline and gets out.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say sheer luck.
Sheer luck.
I don't have a theory. That all sounds great.
And hopefully the rumors are true that we're getting Agents of S.W.O.R.D. So that's
hopefully.
So we can see Quake come back.
Yeah, hopefully.
Boy. Woo! What else we got on the plate, Shaw?
All right. So next up, I've been rewatching some Star Trek Deep Space Nine and other shows, and there's some stuff that they do that I think that the Flash and other shows should do as well that they don't do. First up is that those shows focus on like 2 or 3 plots each episode. So you have an A plot and a B plot, sometimes a C plot. By doing that, you get focus on the story, on what's happening, instead of having to juggle this person's story, this person's story, this person's story, this person's story, this person's story. Also, at the same time, what those shows that I mentioned do used to do back in the day is you take two characters and pair them up every now and then. So you have two characters that normally wouldn't pair up, and actually pair them up. So, you know, they've done that sometimes on the Flash, like let's see, Cisco and Caitlin, or the one Barry and Caitlin episode, or you know, Rolf and the Wells of that season. So they do that, but they don't do it enough. You know, like how often does Iris and Caitlin be together? You know, how often does Joe and Cisco be together? They had that one season, a couple episodes, but that's it. You know. So yeah, I think those are two things that should be done: pairing the characters up and doing A and B plots to just, you know, making the story and the writing better. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm definitely all for it. It makes sense, right? So yeah, go for it.
The only thing I think they say the majority of that for the crossovers. But yeah, good point. And mind you, all the crossovers have been good.
I have to say that in today's world, we're getting. It's always about writing, and if you're not being able to write correctly or write solidly enough to get your fans into it, because look, let's go ahead and say it. But The Walking Dead has great writing. If you're looking at a show, because it lasts. You want your television show to last, you have to have writing. You have to have things that people want to watch. Reason why everybody talks about it still to this day. I still talk about it. Why Firefly should have actually had a longer season, and they had great writing, but nobody wanted to pick up the show. But they had great
because
writing.
Fox is stupid. Fox is doing more.
Yeah,
they juggled the time slot. They didn't advertise it. It was because of Fox.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, great writing. You cannot say the show didn't have great writing. So again, that's what people are watching. If you're going to sit there and invest time into a show on cable TV, even if you're investing it on to do like me, a lot of times I'll binge watch. I'll wait for the entire season to be done, and then I'll binge watch it. But what you're watching it for is not because, yes, the characters, but you're also watching it because of the story. The story grabs you. That's why you want to come back to it. Look at Sons of Anarchy. Look at any good show that's been around for multiple seasons and have spin-offs. Writing. Star Trek's done it. Writing. You know what I mean? It's the key. It's the key to it. If you want to make your show last, have good writing.
Yes. And
Absolutely.
And it's like shows that go to the series. They say Stargirl is going to stay the same, but I'm holding. That's bated breath because Brett Berlana gets his hand. Man, I ain't even go there. Anything else we got, man?
All right. So a question you posed: should Wonder Woman be using more of Nubira, or however you pronounce her name, the African American Wonder Woman? I think that would be an interesting idea. What do you guys think? Nubira, what? I
would have to agree. I would like to see more. Even though, yes, I know this is weird. The white guy, the Native American Canadian, talking that he agrees with everyone. No, honestly, in this day and age, I think we need more Black female characters. You don't see very many Black female characters in television, even in movies. Like the last time we had, for us as nerds, the last time we had a Black female character, you had everybody in Wakanda, you had all the Black Panther, and then you had Halle Berry in X-Men with Storm. You know what I mean? Like we don't see very many people of color in places, so you need that. If they're there, if they're in comics, give them the love. You know what I mean? They need to have that love because you don't get to see it very often.
I agree, 100%.
And you can also bring other heroes over from that universe too. You can bring over your Black Superman. Now, give him credit. They finally got Icon. You saw him in Injustice a few episodes. You saw his protege Rocket. we've seen Static. And Black Lightning is the leader of the Justice League now, as is the last season of Young Justice. But yeah, I think we can see Nubia, and it'd be interesting to see her too. I think we really interesting to see her and how she's portrayed. I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah,
I think it'd be awesome. All right, man.
Yep.
Anything else, man?
All right. Okay. So, anyone who watches Film Theory, Matt Pat, he posed the idea that maybe the Batman movie that's coming out, that maybe the big villain over there will be the Court of Owls.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Because I don't know, he kind of sounded like his evidence seemed pretty compelling. What do you guys think?
I would have to sort of tend to agree with Matt Pat that it would be the Court of Owls. I think it'd be the best way to do it if you're doing if you're going to do a reboot into the Batman series and you're going to have this new younger Batman. Let's look at it as a year one, and let's give the Court of Owls, because in that original comic book, the Court of Owls were the main focus in year one for Batman. So I think it would be perfect, and it would play well to set up to your next villains and how Batman gets his role gallery of villains.
Right.
It would just work for you. It would work out better that way if you're going to go with that route, instead of trying to make 20,000 villains or trying to get us on to it could be this or it could be that. The Court of Owls would work really well, and I think it would be taken well perceived in this type of generation.
If done correctly, like that's really got me intrigued. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of people wondering, like, well, who the hell is this? What is this? But for those that know, if done correctly, yeah, I'm totally down for that.
And we only saw the Court of Owls once, as far as animated movies go. Batman and Robin, the first one.
Yep. And then we saw the Court of Owls in, if you've watched the movie or the television show Gotham, they were in there. They were in there.
I still need to watch Gotham.
But they were in there. It wasn't done as well, but they were in there. And this could lead into, even if you want to say, hey, your main villain of this first movie is Anarchy, and Anarchy's being manipulated by the Court of Owls, and move it into like another movie into the next, that's fine with me, as long as you insert them the correct way, meaning that they're pulling the strings, they're manipulating the pieces behind the scenes.
Yep. I agree. Anything else, Shaw?
I got one more thing up here, and this is more along the lines of a what if type of thing, an idea I got recently.
Okay.
So I was thinking for a Captain America 4, after the whole Falcon and Winter Soldier series, where Falcon is finally taking the mantle completely, wearing a suit and all that. What if you have a storyline where a couple of old people are attacked and killed, and it turns out it's connected to Captain America Winter Soldier, that they're the 6 Forgotten Warriors, and you got to do that story. And maybe they're holding something that is getting collected, and you meet the one that runs fast and the lady one, and I don't know. Like, I always liked the 6 Forgotten Warriors in Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So I think doing that in the movie would be nice. Like, I know that a few years ago in Ultimate Spider-Man, that cartoon, they had one of them there, the runner.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that would be cool. We can get a flashback with Secret Sevens. I think that'd be a good idea. And you have that connection with the soldier, and there's definitely time that something like that could have happened. Because First Avenger, there's like definitely a jump of like a year or so.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys think about that? Should Captain America 4 be 6 Forgotten Warriors, or what do you guys think?
I like that idea. I really do. And plus also too, you get to see the hindrance of the U.S. agent Captain America, who's the black suited Captain America. You probably would even get the entrance of the Hydra Captain America. We got a hint of that during the time in Endgame, where Captain America knew that the bad guys were Hydra, and Hail Hydra, but there actually is a whole comic where Captain America is working for Red Skull. So you know what I mean. I think it'd be a great way. And like you said, you get Chris Hemsworth to come back, or Chris Evans to come back just once to play the original Captain America. It would work well, even if you were to do it in the Captain America Bucky Barnes TV show that they have with Disney, and just once as like a major like ending an episode or a season. It would work. I think it definitely work. There's money there, and the fans that know about the Captain America and the lineage would like to see that. You get to see all the different and see who they pick to play the different Captain Americas too.
That's cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I like
You
that
just have
idea.
to sort of kind of promo it a little bit, because unless you're a comic book fan, you really wouldn't know them.
And that's why I said it'd probably be suited for that the Disney Plus TV show, because that's where they're hitting at. Even with the Wanda and Vision show that they're doing, it's more hinted toward the comic book, the aficionado, the guy that's has read the comics, that's seen a couple of the books, because the covers and the things they're doing are all from those types of books.
Yes.
So again, I think that's where they're going to hit the money and hit the nail on the head. Again, like we said, writing, and if you're looking to do writing, that would be perfect to do it.
Jay, you should write the script and submit it to Marvel. That's your get rich quick scheme right there. Write the script, submit it to Marvel.
Oh my goodness. All right. Real quick before we go, don't forget to head over to metallicdicegames.com. Type in GNND with that promo code. You'll save 10% off your purchase. So if it's, let's say, something 50% off, type in GNN for the promo code, you'll get an additional 10% off of that. So definitely,
like my friend Ty Dillinger would say, 10.
And yes,
10.
You do that. I want to thank all you guys for joining me tonight. We're gonna go and do promos very quickly. Shaw, go ahead and cut your promos real quick.
Yes, sir. If you guys like memes, if you guys like any information on the world of the DC, please join my Facebook page, Justice League Memes of America. Yeah, Justice League Memes of America.
Gene, Brandon, go ahead. Yeah, I don't know if you want a combo paradigm shift. I don't know how y'all want to do it.
You can go first, Brandon.
Well, guys, every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, you can check me and Gene out on the Paradigm Shift as we talk about all things wrestling and our favorite segment, Josh's Fantasy Question of the Week. You never know what's going to happen. Tune in Wednesday. Join Pinfall Productions and follow the Paradigm Shift. You will not be disappointed.
That's where you can see this show. You can see everybody's show.
I'll be there too.
Will's
Will's
there too.
And you can't forget about myself. You can catch me over in as well the WGP. I'm a promo artist as well. And same with this guy. Same with this guy over here. Over the VOH. But anyways, as we always love to say, if you don't go to the lovely Pinfall Productions, you'll never get to see us all, and you'll miss all this. Go subscribe. Go to all these guys' pages. Hit the subscribe buttons. Go.
Do it. Just do it.
Ding the bells.
You'll
Smash
love
the
it.
bells. Notifications. All that lovely
It's
jazz.
great. Follow us on YouTube. Yeah, we got it all. Pinfall Productions.
Also, very quickly, I want to thank everybody who just accepted us into the new group over at excuse me. Just want to thank everybody who joined us, geeknewsnow.net. I want to thank that whole group for just accepting us as brethren over there. Dave has been fantastic. He's been great. We've been welcomed. He's educated me on a lot of good stuff I did not know. And he's been helping me out, getting everything squared away. So I want to say thank you to him and thank you to those guys over at geeknewsnow.net. Head on over there for podcasts just like this one. If you need any news and information, they got you covered over there. Anime, games, movies, whatever you need, they got for you over there at geeknewsnow.net. So definitely check those guys out. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor, and I'll thank all you guys for being on with me tonight.
Will, thank you for having me, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, gentlemen. And we'll holler at you next week. Normally we come on at 10, but we did a special 9 o'clock. So next week we will be on at 10 p.m. Eastern time. For Brandon, for Jen, for Shaw, for Dave over at GNN, GeekNewsNow.net. We'll see you guys again next week. Everyone have a good one and take care. Later, guys.